let's jump into my review of bookends, or book supports, as Demco calls them. First, you may, if you haven't really dug into bookends yet, you may start out with something like these, which are beautiful, or these. And they work pretty well. Let's do a test. So let's say, I don't know, let's try this. Yeah, so that, okay. Well, anyway, these are okay. But another problem with them is that they're very heavy. So I was looking for something a little bit lighter. These are solid stone, so those are very heavy. And these, solid bronze, those are heavy duty also. So I decided to look for ones that had the bottoms, extended bottoms under the books on them. So I went cheap first. So I got these, not looking at the size, of course. Got them on eBay, 3 pairs for 20 bucks or something like that. And they're good for these size books. These are about 7 inches high. They're very, very wobbly. There's no way they're going to handle these larger books. But they're also very beautiful. But they're not serious bookends. Now we step up to these. And these are laid out in approximately strongest to weakest. These are the Officemate Heavy Duty bookends. You can get those for about 30 bucks. These are the Demco Vintage Skyscrapers, mid-century modern design. You can get these for somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks on eBay per pair. And these are also Demco. This is the Titan StrongArm, and this is the Titan. They also have a little scallop edge, but they don't have this 3D scallop part of it. And these you can get for 35 bucks on the Demco website. And then this one is the Universal brand Economy bookends. So what makes a sturdy bookend? We'll start out with these. You see these have these raised supports, and that's to give it some rigidity. It's difficult to bend this here. But the problem is, when they're manufacturing them, it's very difficult to make it rigid, but then bend that rigidity into a form. So they end up taking out the piece that would keep this part rigid, which is the part that you want most rigid. So if you're holding these here, these still a little bit wobbly, but not bad. All right, now we're getting serious. Good job. They're still a little bit, it's kind of a little bit sketchy still. I don't know. I like my, yeah. See, you can see this one's bending over. So it's a little bit weak still there. So the next one up is the Demco Titan. And you can see with these, it's kind of strange. They came to me tilted into the book side. And these have that same issue with the raised support lines here being flattened at the corner where they bend it. So again, let's see what these look like. I don't know, a little bit wobbly. But they're stronger than the universals. And I'll probably skip some of the other Demcos for this. But let's see what they look like. They're solid again. But again, a little bit of give. So now let's step up to the next one. The Demco Titan StrongArm. So this one is not going to be as flexible as this one. This one has a little bit of flex here because it's not as rigid as this one. And this one has this support here, so there's no moving this one at all. That's not going anywhere. But again, they have the same issue at the bottom here, where they flatten the part that's supposed to keep it from bending. So it'll bend a little bit there, but still not quite as strong as these older Demcos. I don't know when they were manufactured, during the last century, during the 20th century, not the 21st. These supports are not bent flush with the corner. So these, really the only bend comes from above this support. And these are a thicker gauge also, I think. Definitely feels like it. These are very sturdy. But the issue with these is, interestingly, I've corrected it a bit, but see, they cut the steel here and then they move that forward, or they shape it with the machine, pushes it in. So it creates a little bit of an edge here, a sharper edge, and also here along the outside and on the inside. So if you have a nice book, you know, a collectible that you don't want to scrape up, you better watch out for that if you're going to pull it out of there. So it could end up scraping the cover of your book. What I've done for these particular ones, since I like them so much, I dremeled the edge so they're softer now, but it's a bit of a pain. So I don't know if I recommend that. Now we come to the ultimate, the Officemate Heavy Duty. These are, I'd say, the same gauge as these. So they're very, very sturdy. And they don't have this edge. Like the new Demcos don't have that problem either, because they were pushed the other way. So the edge is on the outside, not the inside. The burrs. On the old ones, the burrs were on the book side, which is terrible. But here they're on the outside. With the Officemates, there are no burrs. They cut them off before they powder coated the bookends. But as you can see, so these are 10 inches. All of these are about 8.5 to 9 inches. So let's see what these can do here. I believe these are what many libraries use, because these are legit bookends. So if you don't want a bookend that's going to be super heavy and or flimsy and or not cut your collectible books, really the Officemate is the way to go. Officemate Heavy Duty. But and these Demcos are also all pretty nice, as you saw. Let's see, take out some of these here. Look at that. No such. Oh, there we go. But that's still pretty good. These are very heavy books. And finally, if you take half of them out and then let the other half slide, yes, I guess you could eventually get them to fall, but then again, they're not falling there. So there you go. Hope this helps you make a decision on purchasing your next book supports.